So hands and knees to start. You'll place your hands, if you can, underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide so you have a firm base. And it's your choice. You can tuck your toes under, or you can untuck your toes and press the tops of your feet down. Whatever feels like your body is like craving for today or feels better, more supportive underneath you. And then take a moment here to start to press the space in between your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. And then see if you can also at the same time press the back of your head up. I'll just like activate that a little bit. Maybe it's subtle, the set of muscles in your upper back. So think about like if you had a block in between your shoulder blades and you're really just trying to press it up. So not rounding like cat here and dropping your head, but kind of just pressing the space in between your shoulder blades up, but at the same time pressing the back of your head up as well. Because we often let our head just drop. So can you press the back of your head up like you had a block on the back of your head as well and you had to balance it, right? If you dropped your head, it would fall. So take one more breath in here, just activating those muscles in your shoulders, your upper back. Notice what it feels like. And then let that space drop down, sink down. Everything else really stays the same. So, like, think about the weight of your chest just sinking down. And then squeeze your shoulder blades together. So you have that. So it's like a little scapular push up, we're going to call that, right? So that's space in between your shoulder blades. Think of that. And then again, you press it up towards the sky. Back of your head presses up. And then can you let it sink back down? Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Head doesn't really like move too much, right? It stays in line with your chest. Can you do that one more time? Press up. Not really rounding, but just pressing up, activating that space, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together as the weight of the chest sinks down. Awesome. And then come back to neutral. You'll give yourself a little break here. Walk your hands up the thighs and just come up onto your knees. Interlace your hands, your fingers, and then take little figure eight here just to like rinse out the wrists a little bit after all of that work. Like you were tracing a figure eight with your knuckles here. And then reach that one big fist up over your head. And then just lean to the right for a moment. Lengthen the left side and come up. And then lean over to the left. Lengthen the right side out. And come up. Now take your arms out like a T. Your palms will face forward to start. Then start to press the back of your hands back behind you a little bit to feel the pec muscles, the chest open up. Now, can you slightly lift your chin a bit? So nice. And then slowly start to bring your hands together in front of you. Your arms stay long, your palms will touch. And then start to bring your chin to your chest a bit. And think about rounding or leaning away from your fingertips as they reach further forward, but your upper back draws back behind you. So it's like those two opposing forces. Here, now interlace your fingers together. This time, flip your palms forward and then come all the way up. Can you reach them up towards the sky here? Press up. You might even look up, lifting your chin. And then come back to neutral. Take your arms out like a T. Now, this time, your thumbs will point down. Turn your palms behind you. And then take your arms down along your sides. Give your arms a break. Maybe roll the shoulders a bit. Now the palms will press behind you. Can you start to, rather than flare the ribs forward, can you think about drawing them towards one another, drawing them in rather than just taking the back bend in your mid back. Think about the work happening in your shoulders, right? So you start to send your hands behind you. The belly engages a little bit more to keep that strong sense of center. Now you can stay here or bend at the elbows. Either take palm over palm here, grab opposite forearms, or if you want, interlace the fingers behind you, make that big fist behind you, and then maybe start to send the knuckles down and lengthen the arms, right? We try not to just completely straighten the arms and lock the joints, but think about this idea of your knuckles drawing down. So wherever you are in those options, all of them are great, but the goal is to then broaden across the collarbones. Again, can you engage the belly a little more? Maybe start to lift the chin. And then slowly come back to neutral. Excellent. Release that. Reach all the way up. Take a big breath in. And then step your right foot forward, coming into a lunge. Doesn't have to be the deepest lunge ever. But then you'll take your right hand, wrap it around your left wrist, reach up as you breathe in, and then lean over to the right. Find that long lengthening stretch here along the left side. So nice. Big breath in, reach back up. And then just a gentle twist. Left hand goes forward, right hand goes back. And reach all the way up. And then slowly bring your right knee next to your left. Hands come back to the ground. Tabletop pose. Take a breath in to let the belly drop down and let the chest almost draw forward, finding cow pose. The tailbone will lift. And then as you exhale, press into your hands, round your upper back. Now, this time you can drop your head. And do that 2 more rounds. Inhale to find cat or cow, rather. Exhale to find cat. Last one. Inhale, cow. Exhale slowly into cat. You'll come back to neutral. Walk your hands up your thighs. Come up onto your knees here. And start to reach your hands out like a T. Flip your palms back. Thumbs point down. Now slowly start to take your arms down along your sides and then press it back with the hands. Your choice here. You can interlace the fingers, palm over palm, opposite elbows, reach for them. Or take that, sort of bind with the hands behind you and lengthen the arms. All of those options are awesome. Just think about the heads of the shoulders drawing back. The belly still staying strong and active here. So you don't really find this like crunching in your middle back. Think about belly staying engaged, then lifting up through your sternum, maybe lifting through your chin. And then you'll come back to neutral. Just look straight ahead. Release the arms. Arms reach up. Big breath in. Step your left foot forward. Now you grab your right wrist with your left hand. Pull up as you inhale, get longer. And then as you exhale, tip over to the left. So even more length on that right side. And you'll come up. Your right hand will go forward, left hand goes behind you. Just an easy little twist here, opening up to the left. A little bit of balance work in the low body. And you'll reach up. Left knee comes to meet the right. 1 round of cat-cow, just one, just to rinse all of that out. Inhale to find cow. Exhale to find cat. And then once you're in cat pose here, I want you to stay rounding and just let the weight of your head hang here. It can feel really nice to just then let your head go side to side. So we don't have to be in this like complete forward fold to be upside down to let the weight of your head kind of hang. You can do it when you're supported by hands and knees. And maybe shake the head yes a little. No, we'll just let it rock side to side. And when you're ready, come to a seat. And you sit up nice and tall here. Take your arms behind you. So rather than finding that deep, deep bind, I want you to just take hand over hand, palm over palm as you bend at the elbows. Now think about the heads of the shoulders drawing back behind you again. And then take that hand over hand, your hands, both of them, just as they are, take them over to your right hip a little, just like you're snugging them over to the right. And it's almost like you're taking your right hand and guiding your left wrist over to the right. So the idea is that you're taking that left elbow, that left forearm, the left hand further over to the right. And then sit up nice and tall as you breathe in. And then drop your chin to your chest. So just the weight of your head, nothing else. Try not to round forward here. Just sit up nice and tall. But the weight of your head drops forward. Now roll your right ear further towards your right shoulder. Right? Obviously, they won't touch. That's not the goal. The idea is just to find the weight of your head drawing over to the right so you can lengthen that space. Maybe you start to even imagine you have a pencil on the tip of your nose and you're drawing a line with that pencil straight up towards the ceiling and then straight down towards the ground. And then feel freedom to take a little more extra movement here in whatever direction the muscles in your neck are craving. You might find for me, I just kind of like let the weight of my head go all around, explore, find that sweet spot, maybe take a breath or two. And you'll slowly come back up to center, release the arms. Wrap your arms around you. Take note of what arms on top. It doesn't quite matter. I like right over left just so I can remember. And then maybe grab opposite shoulders here and round forward. Drop your head. It's like you're pulling that space in between your shoulder blades apart, letting it get bigger. And you'll come up and then take the arms out to the sides. Place your hands behind you, fingers pointing out. And you can even root your feet down like you were going to set up for a bridge pose. And just lift your chest here. Maybe let the weight of your head drop back. Maybe again, rock your head side to side. And then you'll come back to a seat. Arms come out like a T to start. And then palms face behind you, thumb points down, bend through the elbows, and then it's palm over palm. So it's easier to have this time your right palm on top of your left, right on your low back here. And then you can even use your left hand to wrap around that right wrist and guide it over to your left hip. So that whole structure is kind of like shifting over to the left on your low back, your left hip. And it's not about how deep or how far over. It's just the idea that you're creating a little more space in that left side of the neck. You might feel it right away. Think right shoulder away from your right ear. And that just might be enough here. Or if you want, you can play with dropping the weight of your head, chin towards your chest, rolling your left ear over towards the left shoulder. You might pause here or pretend you have that pencil on your nose and draw that line up towards the ceiling. And then down towards the ground. Take freedom if you need it. A few more rounds of breath. And come back up. Release. Now you'll give yourself that hug again, well deserved hug. Left arm maybe on top of the right or opposite arm from before. And then you'll round forward, almost pulling shoulder blades away from one another. It's almost like this little self assist here to get into that space in between your shoulder blades. Maybe a rock side to side to feel a stretch in the low back as well. But slowly come up. One more heart opening pose here. So if you'd like, and your block feels soft enough, supportive enough, you can also use a pillow as well. We'll take a supported fish pose, right? So where our heart is lifted, here our chest is the highest point. And you'll take that block, start on its lowest height here. That feels really nice, can feel like exactly what enough opening through the chest. And you'll take it on the lowest behind you and you'll find that sweet spot where the bottom of your block is usually in line with the bottom of your shoulder blades can rest. And then you can let your head drop back. And the weight of your head can come back behind you. Your arms can come alongside you. Palms will flip up. And if you need to readjust. Find the spot that feels supportive. That's a little bit lower. And you can always bend your knees and plant your feet. So then you can move your body to that spot where it needs to rest or wants to rest. It feels like you can open through the chest a little bit more. We're here as you breathe in. Open the mouth, soften the jaws, you breathe out. And then play with where your arms land and how that feels in the neck, across the collarbone. Notice where you might be holding tension and notice if you can find a little bit more of stretch or this feeling of expansion or openness based on where your arm rests on the ground. We'll take our rest here. Won't be too long, but close your eyes. Take a full breath in. Big breath out. Soften your jaw. Soften your fingertips. drifting with the exhale, allow this little bit to this sense of support you. Out. Your head, side to side. Side. So you can move that block, move it off to the side, and then take a moment to lie down. Keep the back of your heart on the ground for a moment. Your knees can be bent, feet on the ground. Maybe even knock your knees together. Maybe even bring your hands to your torso just to feel this sort of reset. Open up your mouth. Or stay here as long as you need to, or whenever you're ready, you can roll to the side. Bring yourself up to a seat. Sitting up nice and tall, so broad across the collarbone. And bring your hands together in front of your heart to feel this practice that you've taken together today with this sense of gratitude, gratitude for moving our bodies, creating space to breathe. And maybe as a result, even creating a little bit of space between thoughts. And here, maybe you choose what you can fill that space with. Maybe it's this intention or something back to a word, something you'd like to create a little bit more of. And then it's breath, you, feeling, and take one big breath and a breath. In the eyes. Thank you so much